Welcome back. We're doing a deep dive today into Positivity Global Coaching. A lot of you have been asking about coaching, maybe even getting certified. So we took a look at their programs, how they're approaching ICF credentials with all the changes happening there.
Yeah. I think what's interesting about Positivity Global right off the bat is this focus on a holistic, supportive approach,
Yeah.
which you see both in how they've structured things and how they're keeping up with those ICF updates.
Definitely. And one thing that really jumped out at me was this whole flipped classroom model they talk about. I mean, I'm familiar with it, but for those who aren't, could you maybe break down how that works, especially when it comes to coaching education?
Absolutely. So think about it this way. Instead of the traditional model where you're sitting through lectures trying to absorb everything at once, Positivity Global flips it. They give you the material first, pre-recorded videos, readings, interactive exercises, all at your own pace before you ever get to the live sessions.
So you're coming to those sessions prepped, ready to dig deeper, not just getting the basic info for the first time.
Yeah. Exactly. And what that does is create a more active learning experience. People tend to, I think, grasp the concepts more thoroughly, see how they're actually used when they're not just, starting from zero in those live sessions.
Makes a lot of sense. And it seems like that ties into their 5-satellite support system. Can you explain what that is? It sounds pretty intense, but in a good way. What are the benefits for someone going through their program?
So it's all about providing support, and it's personalized throughout the entire learning journey, right? You have a trainer guiding you through the material, a coach giving you feedback on your actual coaching, a tutor for those I don't get this concept moments, then a mentor who's been there, done that, can share real-world experience, and to top it off, a supervisor for your coaching practice.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot of individual attention. It's like having this whole team in your corner, which I'd imagine is super valuable in a field like coaching, where your own personal development is so tied to how you're developing professionally.
Exactly. The whole point is to create this environment where you feel safe, you're encouraged to try things, maybe make mistakes, ask all the questions you have so you can get those skills down, build confidence, and dig it faster.
I love that, like a safety net and a springboard combined.
Yeah.
Now, I want to get into how they structure the learning itself. They have this learning accelerator model. What's that all about, and how would it apply to someone who, say, they've coached friends, family, but want to go pro?
It's a framework, basically. And yeah, it's designed for that exact transition. They break it into 4 parts: understanding, application, consolidation, and then dissemination. So first, you're getting the foundations of coaching, then you apply it, practical exercises, even real-world stuff. Consolidation is where you're really internalizing the skills, making it your own style. And finally, you're ready to teach, to confidently coach others.
So it goes way beyond just knowing the stuff, right? You're
Yeah.
living it, and then you're able to lead others through that same kind of transformation. Speaking of which, one thing that's really emphasized in their materials is how they're aligning with the ICF, all those recent credentialing updates. For someone brand new to this, can you give us the quick version of why those credentials matter?
Sure. So the ICF, that's the International Coaching Federation, they're basically the big dogs, setting the ethical standards, saying who's legit when it comes to coaching programs, even individual coaches. Those credentials tell people you've met these rigorous standards: training, experience, ethical practice. And that's huge for clients, employers.
It's a big deal then. That's good to know. And Positivity Global, they've structured things to match up with the ICF pathways, right? They've got different levels depending on where you're at.
Exactly. So there are level 1 programs like the Diploma in Positivity Coaching. That's your foundation. And it sets you up to become an Associate Certified Coach, the ACC. Then there's level 2, which they call the Advanced Diploma in Professional Coaching Mastery. That aligns with the requirements for the Professional Certified Coach, the PCC. And if you want to go all the way, they've got the Masterful Coaching Program. And that's for those really experienced coaches who are going for the Master Certified Coach, the MCC.
Okay, so no matter where you're starting, they've got a program, which is great. But one thing that stood out, they say their level 2 program can potentially speed up the process of getting your PCC. What does that even mean? How does that work?
It's a big claim for sure, but it shows how much they believe in what they're teaching and how closely they're sticking to those ICF standards. Because usually you'd have to submit recordings of your sessions to the ICF. They evaluate you. But Positivity Global is suggesting, and this is because their level 2 is so thorough, their supervision, feedback during the program, it's so intense, graduates might not even need to do that separate evaluation.
Oh, so they've kind of built it right in. Like you're constantly being assessed, getting feedback, so it's already taken care of. That could save people a lot of time, right?
Exactly, and probably money too. It's this new way of doing things, but it still
Eh.
matches those high standards from the ICF. Of course, you'd want to double check the details, but it shows they're really trying to make getting your PCC smoother faster.
I like that. Very forward thinking. Now, I'm sure people are wondering about the cost. That's a big factor with any of this stuff. We don't have the exact numbers, but they do mention flexibility.
Yeah. They talk about pay as you go, which I'm sure is helpful for people who can't, pay everything up front.
Definitely. And they say you can start from level 1 and upgrade when you want. So it seems like you can build your own path, kind of.
Yeah, you're not locked in from the beginning. Try out level 1, see how you like their style, the whole vibe, then decide if you want to level up to level 2 or beyond. Makes sense if you're on a budget or your goals change.
It's like a choose your own adventure, but for coaching. Okay, I want to shift gears a bit. What about the team behind all this? Anything we should know about their experience, qualifications? It's always reassuring to know who you'd be learning from.
Yeah, they have a whole page on their website dedicated to the faculty. Honestly, it's impressive. You've got people with tons of coaching experience, advanced degrees, credentials from all the right places. They definitely put a lot of emphasis on experience and having the right qualifications.
So you're learning from the best. That's great. Now, big picture, what really makes them different from other programs? What are their strengths, their selling points? Why should someone choose them?
I think it comes down to that holistic approach we talked about, the flexibility, how accessible they make it, and that really strong support system. It's more than just teaching coaching. It's like they want you to grow as a person too.
Yeah, they're equipping you for the long haul, not just checking boxes.
Right. And because they're so aligned with the ICF, constantly updating, you're getting the latest information, which is crucial in a field that's changing so fast.
Totally. Okay, we've covered a lot. Before we move on, any final thoughts on Positivity Global Coaching so far?
I'd say remember the flexibility, that amazing support system they have in place, and how much they value real-world experience. They have options for every stage of your coaching journey, and they seem genuinely invested in your success as a coach, but also as a person.
Love it. Okay, now we got to flip the script a bit. We've talked about the good stuff, but are there any potential drawbacks, things that might make Positivity Global not the right fit for everyone?
Right, of course. Not every program is going to be a good fit for everyone.
Right.
It's about finding what works for you. And with Positivity Global, I think one thing to keep in mind is that fit-to-learn format. As flexible as it is, it requires you to be self-motivated, disciplined. You're setting the pace, engaging with the material on your own. So if someone really thrives in a more structured environment, like a traditional classroom, set schedule, that in-person accountability, it might not be the best fit.
Yeah, totally. It's like, do you prefer a personal trainer tailoring a workout just for you? Or do you like the energy of a group fitness class, set routine, everyone doing the same thing? Both work, but it's about what clicks for you. What else should people be thinking about when they're looking at Positivity Global?
Another thing, and this is key, they are really into positive psychology. That's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
They touch on other coaching styles, but their whole philosophy is about positivity, strengths-based coaching, well-being. So if you're more drawn to a super directive, results-oriented way of coaching, it might not resonate as strongly.
It's like picking the right therapist, or even a mentor. You want someone whose approach matches your values, what you're hoping to get out of it.
Exactly. And even though their support system is amazing, that 5-satellite thing, for some people, that might feel like too much. If someone's more independent, they like figuring things out on their own, all that guidance can be overwhelming.
It's finding that sweet spot, right? Support versus independence, everyone's different.
Absolutely. And this is important, I think, no matter what program you choose, becoming a coach, building a practice, it takes dedication. You're going to be putting in the work.
For sure. Getting certified is a huge step, but it's just the beginning, right? You're building a business, essentially.
Exactly. You got to be realistic. It takes time, effort, probably more investment, even after the certification itself. Marketing, all that stuff.
So true. Okay, so we've talked about potential downsides, making sure it aligns with you, but let's flip it again. Who Positivity Global perfect for? Who should be signing up right now?
If you're all about positive psychology, you love that flexibility, that self-directed learning, and you really value having that support, that guidance, then yeah, Positivity Global could be amazing.
Especially if you want a program that's right there with the ICF, meeting those standards, clear path to getting those credentials.
Exactly. And the real-world experience you get, that's huge. If you're someone who wants to dive in, get their hands dirty, get feedback from experienced coaches, they've got you covered.
Okay, so let's talk about something that I'm sure is on everyone's mind, and that's recognition, right? Like, how legit is this? What's Positivity Global's reputation, accreditation, all that?
That ICF alignment is really key. We talked about how they set the bar, right? They're the gold standard for coaching. And Positivity Global, they're proud of that connection. They highlight it everywhere.
Okay, so that means something then in the coaching world.
Absolutely. It means they've been through a tough review. They're meeting the ICF standards for coaching education. It gives the program credibility, tells students they're getting quality, that it's aligned with what's expected in the field.
It's like a seal of approval from the best in the business. And if you're investing your time and money, that matters.
For sure. And it can give you a leg up if you're looking for work. Lots of employers, they specifically want coaches who've trained at ICF-accredited places.
Good to know. Okay, so we've got strengths, potential drawbacks, ICF alignment, but I'm curious about the nitty-gritty. What's it actually like? How are the courses structured? What's the delivery method? What's the interaction like with instructors, other students?
So they've got this fit-to-learn format, remember. It's this mix of online learning at your own pace, but then they have those live interactive sessions too.
The best of both worlds, kind of.
Exactly. You can watch the pre-recorded lectures, do the readings whenever it works for you.
Yeah.
But then, bam, you've got those live sessions, discussions, Q&A, even group coaching activities.
That keeps it interesting, I bet.
Totally. And through it all, you've got that personalized support we talked about, that 5-satellite system.
You're really proud of that, aren't they?
It's pretty unique. Having a trainer, coach, tutor, mentor, supervisor, that's a lot of individual attention, not something you see everywhere.
It's like having your own personal coaching squad cheering you on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in this field, where your personal growth is so important, it makes a huge difference.
Okay, so they talk a lot about experiential learning. This sounds fancy, but what does that mean for their program? What are the benefits for someone learning to be a coach?
It's about actually doing it, not just reading about it. They do group coaching, mentor coaching, you even get to work with real clients, all supervised, of course.
So you're getting real-world practice, but with a safety net, and you're getting feedback to improve.
Precisely. It's where you put it all together, refine your skills, figure out your style, and you've got those pros guiding you the whole way.
That's huge, because knowing the theory is one thing, but actually coaching, working with clients, that's different.
Totally. And this is where that support system is crucial, right? You're not just thrown in the deep end. You're easing in, getting feedback, adjusting, gaining confidence.
It's like a bridge from the classroom to the real world.
I like that. Okay, we've covered a lot about how they do things, but I want to be clear. Choosing a coaching program, it's personal, right?
Yeah.
It has to be the right fit for how you learn, your coaching philosophy, what you want to do with it.
Absolutely. You're investing in yourself here, your future, so take your time, figure out what's important to you, and make sure the program ticks those boxes.
So what are some questions people can ask themselves to figure out if Positivity Global or any program really is the right match?
It starts with your why. Why coaching? What are you hoping to achieve? What impact do you want to make? What's the dream long term?
Big questions, but important ones, for sure.
For sure. Once you've got that, then you can start digging into different programs. Look at the structure, the teaching methods, what they specialize in, who the faculty are, the cost, how long it takes, the accreditation. It's like a checklist, right? What are your must-haves, your nice-to-have?
Exactly. And don't be afraid to reach out, talk to people, the program administrators, even students, alumni. Get as much info as you can.
It's like buying a house you wouldn't do it sight unseen. Coaching programs, same thing.
Exactly. Do your homework, ask questions, and trust your gut.
Okay, before we wrap up on Positivity Global, I want to go back to something we touched on earlier, this whole ICF credentialing thing. Specifically, how their Level 2 program is designed to get you that Professional Certified Coach designation, the PCC, faster. Let's unpack that a little more.
It's definitely unique. So the ICF, they overhauled their whole system, right? Now it's this multi-tiered approach, and Positivity Global's followed suit.
Right. Level 1 programs, those are geared towards the ACC, Associate Certified Coach.
Exactly, the starting block for most new coaches. But where Positivity Global gets interesting is that Level 2 program. They're aiming to have it fully aligned with the PCC requirements, the Professional Certified Coach level.
And they're saying their Level 2 is so in-depth, it might mean graduates don't even have to submit those recorded coaching hours for the ICF performance evaluation. That's a bold statement, to say the least.
It is, and it shows how much they trust their curriculum, their instructors, the whole supervision process they have built in. Usually you'd have to prove your skills through that external review of your sessions.
But Positivity Global is saying we're doing that throughout the entire Level 2 program. It's baked in.
Yeah, essentially. And if it works the way they describe it, it could save graduates so much time, maybe even money, on their path to the PCC.
That's a game changer, potentially. Could change how coaching programs approach training AD-ICF credentialing down the line. Be fascinating to see what happens.
For sure. But, and I can't stress this enough, anyone looking into this needs to do their research, understand exactly how it works, any catches, limitations.
Absolutely. We've said it a bunch, but choosing a coaching program is huge. So yeah, when you're checking out Positivity Global or any program, be thorough, ask questions, make sure it aligns with what you want.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Find the program that lights you up, that matches your why, that sets you up to kill it as a coach.
And on that note, I think we've done it, a full deep dive into Positivity Global Coaching. Hopefully this has given everyone a lot to think about. Becoming a coach is a journey, constant learning, growing. So embrace it, ask those tough questions, and choose the path that feels right for you. Until next time, happy coaching, everyone.